Now, should deaf children be taught to speak? A summer school taking place this week encourages parents to communicate to their deaf children by talking. But some in the deaf community are concerned that it raises false hopes, and they fear the approach may be a threat to sign language, the traditional way of deaf communication.
Go 1, 2, 3.
Learning to speak by naturally picking up the conversation around us is something most of us took for granted. But in the past, deaf children were often written off as potential speakers because of their disability. Instead, they were taught sign language. But at this summer school at the University of Warwick, the parents of deaf children are encouraged to treat them as normally as possible.
Delta believes that all hearing impaired children have the possibility of learning to talk. In fact, in our experience, even very profoundly deaf children can learn to speak intelligibly and can acquire spoken language. What they need, however, is the opportunity to do that.
The parents are given tuition in the Delta approach, and most seem convinced that it will benefit their children.
We feel that she can talk, she can communicate with the rest of the population. Where if she signs, she can communicate with a tiny proportion, which is limiting her choice of friends, jobs, everything.
99% of people around us speak. Why should she be disadvantaged? I mean, she's got to have a chance as well, hasn't she?
But there's not universal support for the scheme. Some in the deaf community feel that signing is part of their culture and that it's still the right approach for some children.
Our concern is that it raises an expectation that all deaf children can acquire this, and this is just not so. What we're keen to see is that deaf children's communication skills, whether it be speech, whether it be sign language, are maximised so that they can participate as full citizens in society.
For supporters of the Delta approach, though, the proof of the pudding is here. A group of deaf children on a visit to Warwick Castle, chatting about their day.
You know that man on the hook, he's like that one. It's a bit like it.
I know, a bit like that man on that horse. Being able to speak, you can talk to a lot of different people and you're able to hear on the phone, and if you have any problems you can help your deaf friend what people are saying, so it really helps, yeah.
It makes a lot of difference because I don't feel so segregated from society. Like if I was to be signing completely, I wouldn't be able to stand here and talk to you and everybody else.
Back at summer school, the children enjoy another experience normally associated with the hearing world. The debate about whether this is the right approach for all deaf children seems set to continue.
Now, this week, while that fine weather